Good morning. It is the Crazy Art Lady here today. So today we are working on our 1-point perspective. Yesterday, our previous lesson, we talked about making block letters, and then we went ahead and cut those out. And you'll notice here that I've got some laid out here. I'm going to go ahead and move them off to the side so you can see what you're going to do today, okay? So here's what we want to do. So we want to make sure we've got our supplies available. I've got a straight edge ruler. Mine is a 24-inch straight edge ruler. 18 will do just fine. It's got the cork on the back so that it won't slip. We can measure in inches, we can measure in centimeters. We're not doing much measuring. What we're going to be doing today is working with those orthogonal lines and creating a sense of perspective, okay? I want to have an eraser on hand because, we all make mistakes. A 2B or a 4B graphite pencil, a pencil sharpener, because I always like to have things nice and sharp. And I'm going to move these things off right now because I'm not going to use them quite yet. I will be using my pencil, but what I want to do first is I want to figure out how I want to lay my letters out. So I've got the word beautiful spelled out. And you'll notice that I only cut one U because even though there are two U's in there, because remember I said these are used as templates. So what I'm going to do is kind of organize this, and because I am not a very linear person, I like things kind of mixed up, I'm going to play around with this a little bit and figure out how I want to lay these out. So if it's going to be this way, you'll see beautiful would be like this. Okay, or I could twist and turn them depending on who it is that we're talking about. If it's, if you are kind of a twisty, turny kind of person, you might want to have beautiful, kind of like a quirky beautiful, as opposed to, that linear beautiful. It's up to you. So I'm going to kind of play with this until I get what I want. And I think for me, it's going to be up and down a little bit. Okay, B-A, B-E-A. U will go down here. T will be up here. I, F, U-L, okay? And then I want to make sure that I can see that that's going to fit right there, okay? So let's go ahead and start. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and trace these. So for me, I'm going to trace these. It's going to take me a minute. I may be speeding up our video in a little bit, okay? So I want to go ahead and trace these out. Okay, there's my B. Now, you'll see that if I made a mistake, I'm just going to go ahead and erase it and do that part over. Okay, so, and then I'll go ahead and do the rest, okay? Okay, now if you take a look at this, you can see that I've got this laid out the way I want it to be laid out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out my vanishing point. Now at this point, what you want to do is you want to figure if your vanishing point goes up above the letterings, what happens is that you've got it looking like it's, you're looking up. Let's say you're looking up at the letters, or you want to be looking right at the letters, and then your horizon line or vanishing point is down here. Now we're not going to be putting a horizon line on there, but we're going to understand that the horizon line is where the vanishing point is. So I'm going to go ahead and put my vanishing point right here, okay, down here. And then what I'm going to do is, you've probably looked at quite a few how you want to do it. You could do it off to the side. You could put your vanishing point wherever you like on the paper. If you want to put it smack dab in the middle, then all of the illusion is going to come into the center. But I'm going to go ahead and put mine down here. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to identify those corners like we did on the floating boxes. Those corners that are closest to the vanishing point. Now, this one on the U, it's a rounded, not actually a corner, but I'm going to make a kind of a false corner on there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and line up these that are closest to the vanishing point first, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and take these, and then I'm going to take my straight edge. And what's going to happen is that my left side is going to move, my right side is not. I'm going to keep it on the vanishing point. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the lines to the vanishing point first, and you'll notice here on the U, what will happen is I've created kind of this false corner here. And to give it that illusion of roundedness here, this is what we do. Okay, see that? And you'll see it kind of come together here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of keep working around to get that here and here. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and do these. Hopefully I'll be able to work my video so that I can speed this part up a little bit. Do a little bit of simple editing here and here. Now I want to work my way out after I finish this. So you'll see that on this one here, I'm going to go from there to there. And if I were to attach this, it would go right through that letter. And I don't want to do that, so I'm going to leave that one alone. Because every time I make an enclosed space like here, this is all enclosed, I'm going to think of it like a concrete wall. That concrete wall can't be breached, okay? And you can't see through it. So it's an art term called opaque. When something is opaque, we can't see through it. So now I'm going to work my way out and attach the corners that are next closest to the vanishing point. Because what I want to do is I want to see, once I've got my enclosed spaces, I want to see which ones have to stop. Like this one here, this must stop when I hit an existing line. Okay, so you see that. Okay, and now we're going to go here. Okay, here. And then let's make this one. Now you'll see this one's going to go all the way through. Okay, there. This one will stop right here. Okay, this one will stop when it hits the A. This will stop when it hits the A. Okay, and then we're probably ready to go out here. You'll notice that I actually did this one first, and I probably should have done these down here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the A, the ones that are closest to the vanishing point. So I want to find all those corners that are closest first, okay? And this takes a while, so don't worry about going too fast, because what happens is that a lot of students, when they do this really, really quickly, what happens is they end up kind of losing sight of where they're supposed to stop. Okay, so don't do that. Just take your time, okay? So okay, I'm going to continue. Now this one, you can see it's going to go through the letter, so I don't need to worry about that. This one goes like this. This one, won't see, won't see. Okay, so now we're at the T. Okay, let's go over here to the T. And you can see how we move out. And after a while, you'll start to see this. You see that these ones that are closest to the vanishing point, these are the only ones you're going to have a clear shot through. The rest of them, you're going to be stopping as you get to an existing line. Okay? And let's do this. And let's go here. And I always had students who said, oh, Ms. King, wait a minute, I did something wrong. I can't figure it out. Sometimes it'll look like you have too many lines on the paper, and so what you have to figure out is that where you continued lines where they shouldn't have been continued. Okay, there we go. And see. as you can see, when I hit an existing line, I'm stopping. Okay. And so here, except for my B, that's the last one that I have to do. And sometimes, oh no, actually I have to do that one over there. Okay. Now, notice that anytime you have something that's rounded, you're going to kind of make it look like it's a corner when it's not actually a corner. Okay. And okay, now the cool thing is about this B, after I finish this last line here, take a look at the B. I'm going to make it look like there's like this little walkway here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put a line from here to here. Notice it's lined up with a vanishing point, and a little line lined up with a vanishing point from here to here. Now we've got this like little walkway. It kind of gives that illusion of a little walkway there. Same thing for the A. Let's check it out and see if we can, nope, we don't have anything on the A. I'll finish off this T, and then we'll be done with this part. But we're going to go ahead and label what we're grading for today, okay? Because that's always nice to know when you take an assignment home or you look at an assignment and what areas, elements, and principles you worked on during that particular lesson. I always like to know that. One of the things that was fun in the classroom is that talking about the elements and principles, and after a while, the students were actually using those terms like, you know, line, shape, color, and looking at how to make art, you know, and it was kind of seamless. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, one of the things you need to do is that once you've gone ahead and used your templates, you can go ahead and throw those away. I'm going to turn this over because today we're working on the element of space. So I'm going to just go ahead and write element space on it, okay? The principles we're going to be incorporating into this is pattern, okay, which is probably going, most of the time is going to give us rhythm and movement, okay? So rhythm, you have to remember how to spell it. Rhythm, 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 rhythm. Gosh, I'm telling you, you know, after a while you just get, and movement, okay? Pattern, rhythm, and movement. Let's see. So, and then one of the concepts that we're looking with is something called orthogonal lines. Now, the thing to remember about these orthogonal lines is that they're going to be the only diagonal lines that you've got really on the outside of your paper as you're making your art. All of these, if you've got a line that's diagonal and it's not meeting a vanishing point in the 1 point perspective, you want to make sure that it is, because if you've got a diagonal line, now that doesn't mean on your pattern you've got to make those all meet, but for this purposes, for laying out your work, yes, you want to do that. So I'm turning this back over, and this is 1 point perspective, so which is not an element of art, but it is a concept that you want to be able to understand. So that is pretty much it for this part of the lesson. Next, we're going to be looking at pattern and how we incorporate pattern into this. I've got a couple of, I'm going to link you to a couple of pattern PowerPoints so that you can see that how pattern is incorporated, and this is going to be a kind of a fun part of this assignment. So I hope you had a good time today. See me next time. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And I will go ahead and be with you next time. Okay? Thanks. This is a Crazy Art Lady.